and neighbours who over the last few weeks and months have been on the phone to loved ones in Afghanistan, worried sick about the safety of their family members there. Parents, brothers, sisters, children, often in hiding and moving house to house regularly to escape the clutches of the Taliban. Everyday reality. Those precious phone calls to tell relatives they are loved and that they're still alive, safe for the time being, but always at risk. They are not only heartbreaking, but they also tell a very different story to the public face the Taliban are seeking to present to the outside world, to the international community. Glasgow Afghans know the truth on a daily basis. They are speaking to friends and loved ones facing the reality on the ground. And I want to give one example. A constituent whose brother was in Baghlan province saw his district overrun by the Taliban and their brother was put in jail. Put in jail awaiting a Taliban officer to arrive there to question them. However, before that happened, there was a counter-attack in the area, and the Northern Alliance, still fighting today against the Taliban, retook the area and the prisoner was freed. Had that counter-attack been delayed by a single day, my constituent brother would now be dead. Now they are desperately trying to make their way overland out of Afghanistan to a place of safety. Sadly, the district in Baghlan province is currently back in Taliban control for the time being. What is a safe route out of Afghanistan for my constituent's brother? They clearly cannot return to Afghanistan. That is, of course, God willing, they make it out to safety in the first place, and they have family here in Glasgow. What have they done to be under threat? They were supporting the Afghan National Police Force to bring law and order, peace, safety and security to that nation, and now their lives are in peril. Should they make it to the UK, it would quite simply be an outrage to see them criminalised under the UK Government's Nationality and Borders Bill, as highlighted, I note, in Maggie Chapman's MSP's amendment here this afternoon. The experience of my constituent's brother also highlights that Taliban may control most, but not all, of the country. Indeed, Pנjshir province continues to hold out against the Taliban. That resistance is being led by Ahmad Massoud, son of Afghan national hero Ahmad Shah Massoud. Shah Massoud held off both the Soviets and the Taliban before his assassination in 2001. The motion today talks about recognising the lead role internationally that the UK Government must play in ensuring that aid continues to reach those who are most in need. In that context, I absolutely welcome the £250,000 announced by the Scottish Government Humanitarian Emergency Fund to support those in great need, which is, of course, as pointed out by the Cabinet Secretaries, an additional financial commitment the Scottish people already make to the UK's aid budget through tax contributions. Aid to Afghanistan needs to go to as many people as possible who are in great danger. Of course it does. Our aid agencies have to be safe. Of course they do. The UK, the international community, also need to make sure it goes where possible to all parts of Afghanistan in need of support, and not just those areas under Taliban control. In that context, I understand from Afghan constituents the Taliban have effectively blocked off routes in and out of Pנjshir province. They may very well need humanitarian support also, not just areas under the control of the Taliban. Of course, back here in Scotland, we need to ensure all 32 local authorities are supported and empowered to take Afghan families fleeing violence. I know there will be much discussion around how much money the UK Government provides to support our councils. I don't want to get involved in that argument here this afternoon. However, we should not forget that a reported £38 billion was spent by the UK on its involvement in Afghanistan. So how much support will the UK Government put up for health, for education, for housing and for wider community support? It comes at a cost, but it is just quite frankly the right thing morally to do. Together with the USA, the UK's promises of protecting human rights and supporting a free, open, democratic society in Afghanistan, a society where the rights of women, children and minorities were respected, have dramatically melted away with alarming speed. Funding the humanitarian fallout to ensure local authorities right across Britain can play their part in supporting our Afghanistan friends is the very least the UK Government can do. Of course, in Scotland, much of the coordination that must be led by the Scottish Government and partner agencies. We have a proud record of integrating communities well, but such integration doesn't just happen by accident. It takes careful planning and preparation. I very much hope Scotland's Afghan community will be involved in that planning and preparation, but also in the delivery of support. I was pleased to hear that the Cabinet Secretaries already had a roundtable meeting with various public partners, but also with community organisations such as Glasgow Afghan United. The strain placed in Glasgow Afghan United over the last few weeks has been immense. Often volunteers supporting the wider community who have loved ones at risk in Afghanistan at this difficult time. Volunteers who themselves have their own families at risk. Their workload has spiralled, but the practical and emotional support offered has been vital for many families. Such organisations will also be vital in supporting the Afghan families, the new Scots who will settle here in Scotland, as will our integration networks, such as Mary Hill Integration Network, and of course the Scottish Refugee Council. And I was pleased to hear the fantastic and amazing job already undertaken by the Scottish Refugee Council. We have to make sure they are not only part of support plans and preparations, we have to make sure these organisations are resourced to deliver that vital support on the ground. I am sure that is something the Scottish Government will take seriously. I do not think we can underestimate the emotional and mental support offered by such organisations. In closing, I have not mentioned how many Afghan families the UK and Scotland should take. Needless to say, the current numbers are widely accepted to be grossly insufficient. What I will say is that when the UK Government does look at the numbers of Afghan families, as well as the criteria for settling in the UK, they look generously at humanitarian visas to support family reunification for so many Scots Afghan families whose loved ones are in danger right now in Afghanistan. They are in great peril. They're worried sick about their brothers, their sisters, their mothers, their fathers, their wider families. I stand here in solidarity with my constituents who are Afghan Scots today, and as a Parliament we should come together to do all we can to make as many people a new life in Scotland, one where they are safe, free and can realise their dreams and aspirations so cruelly snatched from them in Afghanistan.